Welcome, folks. It's Friday night, and it's time for the grand jury, the live stream that does a grand jury, sort of game show style. Each Friday night, we take five volunteers from the social media platform X. We'll actually take you from other platforms, but for the most part, we do harvest our volunteer jurors from the platform X. And we ask them to review the use of force videos, police use of force videos, through the lens of a grand jury. Uh, we're asking them to play the role as many Americans do, average Americans who sit on grand juries, and determine whether there's probable cause or not to indict someone. But really, in the cases that we watch here tonight, we're just really asking the simple question: do you think that the force that was used by law enforcement was reasonable, or do you think it was unreasonable? But with that, let's meet tonight's jury. We've got some pretty special folks on the jury tonight, and I think we're going to have some interesting points of view. But the first one I want to go to is our own Steve with Range Minded Podcast. Steve, what do folks out there need to know about you, and what are you pushing out there on social media?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show tonight. I'm absolutely excited. I'm Steve, like you said, Range Minded Podcast. I deal everything at least I try to. On my show, I do a weekly podcast. It's usually about an hour, sometimes more, sometimes less. We just go through all sorts of stuff, whether it's new guns, new gear. Sometimes we visit some Supreme Court cases, kind of go through some of those, and current events, just stuff like that. But when it comes to firearms, I just love everything about guns and our Second Amendment rights. So I want to share my passion with everybody out there.
And we talk about your, we actually run a promo for your podcast here on the Grand Jury every Friday night. And that's a weekly, you drop an episode per week. Am I right about
yes,
that?
Sir. Yes, sir. I try to. Sometimes I miss a week here or there, but for the most part, it's been every week since 2018.
Yep. Life will get in the way when you're a small content creator, for sure.
Indeed, it does.
I want to go to Andy Pixie off of X. Andy, what do folks need to know about you? What are things people don't need to know about you?
Well, Joe, as you know, I love long walks on the beach, and I love to smile and laugh. You know, those are the things that people need to know, like you, Joe. But no, for real. No, I'm just here. I'm living the life here at the beach, and I enjoy doing stuff like this. I want to see what other people, if people are going to think the same way as I do, or if they're going to not see the same thing that I do.
Folks, Andy Pixie's a good follow. And she's actually got a bit of a sense of humor sometimes. All right, let's go to the Mustached James. Now, Mustached James, I've just run across you here recently. I don't know a lot about you, but you seem to have a decent take on things. What is your what do people need to know about you from being on X?
Well, like you said, I'm the Mustachio James. I go by Jim at Hi There 144 on Twitter or X. I'm a Navy vet. I've been all around the world, but I'm originally from Iowa. If you've seen Field of Dreams, that's my hometown. That's where I went to high school and everything, although I live in Delaware now. I don't really have what I consider to be a platform, just a funny Twitter feed, and I think that's how you stumbled across me originally. I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for the invite. I look at these court cases in the news like they're kind of brain puzzles for me. They're logical, ethical, legal puzzles for me to solve and work through. And I love the idea of being with a like-minded group that's discussing these things. I think there's a lot for me to learn here.
We're glad to have you and do appreciate you. Tim Williamson, he's also on X. He's a guy that I've met in some spaces. Decent take on things, in my opinion. I thought he'd make a good juror. But Tim, what would you like to tell the people about yourselves tonight?
I'll get that money right to you, Joe. Thanks for the intro. I lived in Kentucky for 22 years, was a administrative law judge and hearings officer for Health and Human Services, Social Security Administration, disability determinations. I'm a healthcare advocate, living that reality right now with my wife's illness, and retired to Volusia County, Florida. Enjoy being on X. I enjoy the spaces, and I think the grand jury is an awesome show. That's about it.
We appreciate you, Tim. And I did save the last or the best for last. We are proud to have P. Ray Easley. She is the founder of the Chicago Red movement, where they're working to bring conservative values into Chicago and make it see on in their local government. And she's also a U.S. Congress candidate out of the state of Illinois, which I'm pretty excited to find that out about you, P. Ray. But tell us a little bit about yourself, or what do you want to tell folks here tonight? You're on social media quite often. I see you on Fox News all the time. You've always got a wonderful message. What message do you have for us here tonight?
Well, first thing, thank you for having me. God bless America. I am P. Ray Easley, a fourth generation Chicagoan. This is my home. I am an eighth generation American. Again, this is my home. And everything that I do is to advance the people who are living in the 7th Congressional District on the west side of Chicago, where I stay. I'm also a muse to President Trump, who I lovingly call my Donnie. To my Donnie, thank you to my Donnie for sending the troops to Chicago, sending ICE, sending border control, sending the ATF. It was really rough up here before we were able to get the attention of the president. Our goal is to help people realize that the boogeyman is not the white Republican man, because all of our leaders are Black Democrats. So this is not a racial issue. This is a ideology issue or ideological issue. And we just want our people to raise their patriotic esteem and know that we are as American as sweet potato pie. Everything from sea to shining sea is for all Americans, and we have to put ourselves first. Thank you for putting me on the jury.
We're very happy to have you, and I've been following your fight for a little while. Impressive what you've been able to do up there, and you keep up the good work. Anything for those of us outside of the combat zone, just let us know how to help. And we thank you for being on the jury tonight. We're going to have fun, folks. We're going to have fun tonight. As with any good court proceedings, we have a court clerk. Our court clerk is Big Ron. He's a retired Navy veteran, worked on aircraft carriers. Big Ron, tell the folks about yourself.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show. Glad to finally get Steve on here. We've been trying to get him on the show for a while. P. Ray, welcome. I'm really excited to have you on the show. I'm rooting for you. I think we need more people like you in the U.S. to go ahead and fight for America. I'd like to welcome everybody out there in the Twitterverse and the YouTube and everybody else. I see the chat's just going. We've got all the videos loaded, Joe. We're good on time. Everybody sounds good. Let's go ahead and kick this off.
I like it, Big Ron. We have our expert witnesses tonight. We have Jason, a retired 30-year veteran of Minnesota law enforcement. And he's also the founder, developer of the 3D response school safety system. Jason, what do folks need to know about you?
My first call was tackling a naked black guy, and I've tased a turkey.
This is true, folks. We found this out when we vetted him for the show as an expert witness. What he said is absolutely true. We may see some of that. Now, tonight we also have Maddie B. Maddie B's been in as an expert witness for us here in the past. Maddie B is a retired federal law enforcement officer or federal agent with the U.S. Border Patrol. Maddie, what would you like for folks to know about you?
Joe, thanks for the appearance. This is my fourth appearance here, so this is fantastic. But first, I want to say thank you, Miss Ray. It's a pleasure to even be in the same kind of arena with you right now, so thank you for what you do. And actually, presently, I'm a U.S. government contractor assigned to the newly formed Homeland Security Task Force. And prior to that, I was a domestic operations unit chief for ICE, not Border Patrol, Joe.
You know what? My apologies. I realize there is a difference there. For most of us, it's all Border Patrol, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just saying. But there is a distinct difference. They've changed it, and ICE does. They do some serious enforcement. ICE does. Okay, now that we've got introductions out of the way and the pleasantries out of the way, let's go over the rules. First, let me explain what a grand jury is. Unlike a trial jury, a grand jury can ask questions. A grand jury can ask and to review evidence, whereas a trial jury, like you see on television, a criminal trial, the jury of 12 that everyone speaks of, they can't. They have to remain silent until it's time to deliberate, and then they have instructions on how to do so. You guys are going to have instructions, but it's a little looser in a grand jury. You can stop and ask questions anytime. You can ask questions of the expert witnesses. I will tell you, I'll throttle them a little bit. They can give you information that could sway you, and that's not what we want. We want your opinion, and not adopting one of someone that you may think has more experience in it. Because experience is just not what's required in our jury system. We really don't want experienced people on it. We want the average Joe. We're going to ask that the grand jury decide tonight by using the reasonable person standard to determine if there is probable cause to believe the force used was justified or not. We're going to ask our jurors tonight to be objective, review only the evidence presented, just the video. Don't bring in a traffic stop that you saw on another video or someone's opinion of this video if you've seen it before, or a Google search. We ask that you objectively watch the videos and make the decision based off the evidence that's presented only in our show here tonight for each case. Now let's talk about the reasonable person. The reasonable person is a legal standard. It's not a specific individual, but it's a hypothetical construct, an average person who acts with ordinary prudence and common sense. It's not the smartest person in the room, but it's not the dumbest person in the room. It's just the average person. What would an average person, and tonight we're going to ask you this simply. An average person, giving this set of facts and circumstances available to the actor, and this is the person that's using the force in any situation, giving the information available to them at the time, would they have a credible fear for their life or the credible fear for the life or limb of another? So you have the right to use deadly force to protect yourself, and you have the right to use deadly force to protect a third person, which it doesn't matter who that third person is. If you see someone attacking someone with a knife, you have the authority, or you have the right to use deadly force to stop that attack, even though that person is not attacking you personally. So that's the third person we speak of. But back to my point is the reasonable person standard is what we're looking for, and that is not a specific individual. It's a hypothetical construct. Not the smartest guy in the room, not the dumbest guy in the room. Also, the difference of a grand jury versus a regular trial jury, or jury that we may be more accustomed to or familiar with, is the level that you need to be convinced. In a criminal trial, in order to take someone's liberties away and put them in the penitentiary or find them guilty of a crime, we ask that jury be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's a pretty high standard. Go lay your head down on the pillow, good or bad, whether you liked the way it came out or not. You can lay your head down knowing that it was beyond a reasonable doubt. It's not the case for a grand jury. It's a lot lower. We ask that you be convinced at the probable cause level, which literally means more likely than not a crime has occurred, and more likely than not the accused is responsible. But take the crime out, and we just say more likely than not the actor would have had a reasonable fear, and more likely than not you believe the action was reasonable. But don't get wrapped around. It's not a real high standard. Don't get wrapped around the details of that. And I'll go over this again between each case just to remind you. All right, our rules of the game are pretty simple. It's 3 out of votes wins the day, a majority decision. And that is where whatever that decision is what that decision is. A jury can come up with 2 verdicts or 2 decisions. No verdicts here, 2 decisions. Their findings could be a true bill, which means formal charges to send a matter to trial. In other words, someone is going to be formally charged on a true bill out of a grand jury, or a no bill, which means no formal charges. That's where the case ends. It goes no further. If a grand jury says that there was no bill here, there's no truth to the allegations, that's where it ends. Okay, do we have any questions before we get on to our first case? I hear nothing, Big Ron. Let's go to case number 1.
Here we go.
Division officers were conducting extra patrol in the 2800 block of West Jefferson Boulevard when they observed several individuals loitering outside a nearby liquor store. As the officers approached the liquor store, they saw a suspect momentarily exit the liquor store, then abruptly re-enter the liquor store. While inside, the officers made contact with Salah, who appeared to be concealing a firearm in his waistband.
I don't have no weapons, sir.
Just relax.
Hey,
Just calm down, bro. Just calm down.
Hold on.
Get out, get out. Get back. Three shots fired off, so Jefferson and 9th Ave.
Come out.
Get back. Suspect's gonna be a male, black over black, running. He's gonna be running eastbound on Jefferson from 9th Ave.
Hey, you! Hey! Sir! Hey, I got one right here at the red vehicle. Hey, he's behind the red car.
Hey, we see you.
Hey, I see you! Put your hands up! Yeah.
Unit who put out a suspect in the East-West Valley, come on.
Okay, come outside, see you.
3-1, it was...
Hands up! I'm getting stepped over. Turn away. Hands on top of your head. Hands on top of your head. Stop. Turn around. All right. Turn around.
He's not being detained. They weren't able to make contact.
What do you want, 7th?
7th, south of 30.
2871. I have a possible suspect in custody. 7th. South of 30th. Any units on 8th Avenue, can you come to my location?
Spread your feet.
Better location. 7th Avenue.
Let's get an RA real quick.
Can I get an RA for a male, approximately 30 years of age, conscious and breathing, suffering from a GSW to the left arm? Yeah.
Where are you at with that suspect?
7th Ave.
7th Avenue.
7th Avenue. Fox.
All right, folks, that's your first case. If you'll go back and play the video over in your mind, and we can go back and watch it again. This is the portion of the show where you guys get to ask questions before we actually start the clock. When we start to deliberate, you guys have 10 minutes. But now you can ask questions. Don't deliberate, but ask questions. But let me give you a quick synopsis there. You had a regular routine patrol and marked unit and full uniform police officers riding too deep. They drive by this corner store, and there were several folks loitering out in the front. It just looks suspicious. You had the one gentleman they made contact with. He come out, makes contact with them, or looks in their direction or where they're driving, and then puts his head down, turns around, and walks back into the store. It's pretty suspicious, about as furtive as motives get. Have we lost a juror? We have, haven't we?
I'm working it. Continue on.
Gotcha. At that point, they stop and go in and make contact. He continues to be bent over. Once again, I think he displayed what's considered furtive movements, suspicious movements, and suspicious behavior the entire time until it got Western, where he pulls away, pulls the gun, and we saw the gunfight ensue. Any portions of this video you guys would like to see again? Let's start there.
I'd like to see where the gunfight ensued, because I couldn't tell who fired first or what. If I could see that, I'd appreciate it.
I tell you what, I think the body-worn cam's not the best one. Let me find it. I think this one is the store security camera.
Thanks, Joe.
Let's take a look at this. Of course, this is a video camera in the store. There's no no audio.
Thanks, Joe.
You want to see it one more time? How about that much of it? I believe your first shot was around the first aisle there.
Yeah, it looks like as he cornered that shelf end, he drew and shot, and then they clocked him in his left arm.
But even as he was, even before he turned that corner, he was going for his waistband and pulling the gun out. So I think the cops had cause to.
Ooh, that sounds like deliberation to me.
Have their weapons out.
That sounds like you're deliberating. Any more questions or parts of the video we want to see?
Sorry.
I'll give you.
Go back to that. Sorry, Joe. There's the body worn as the officer grabs his right arm. It looks like he's actually trying to go to the gun with his left arm at that point. Pull back up just here. Right. Somewhere right through here. Or with his right hand, you see looks like he goes for his waistband at that point.
It did look like he was reaching for his waistband.
So I think the cop probably had a pretty good idea what was going down.
Okay, that doesn't sound like any more questions. Big Ron, let's drop that and let's put up a clock. Let's do our first deliberation session. We got 6 videos to get through. We don't want to meander on them too long. Okay, Andy, I hadn't heard from you, so I do want to hear from you first. Give me your first initial impression on this and which way you're leaning.
Honestly, from everything that I just saw and the way that I would react, I would say no build, because, I mean, I felt like not only was if he was reaching for the gun, he probably would either put himself, the cops, and because there's way more other people out there, in danger. So that's the way I see it.
Okay. Now you said you kind of put yourself in the place what you would do. Remember, we're looking for that reasonable person standard.
Right.
Okay. Let's go to Tim. Tim, give me your initial impression on this.
I just think it's the guy went for his waist, and I'll just leave it at that. So,
do you believe that force used by law enforcement was reasonable? Is that where you're at?
Yes, totally, totally.
All right. P. Ray, first case, first grand jury. What's your initial impression on the video?
I think that the police used reasonable force. He was reaching for his gun and he started shooting at them. I mean, they're people too and they want to go home. I think it would have been easier if they had a conversation rather than him reaching for the weapon and then firing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's how it's done right there. Sums it up and gets to the point. I like it. Steve, Range Minded Podcast. Give me your impression. I think we may be ready for a vote.
Yeah, it was obvious to me that so I think somebody in that situation would have done the exact same thing. He was a danger to those inside the store as well as the officers. I definitely feel like they acted in accordance to what their protocols are.
Very good. Folks, I'm going to go back to you one more time. I want you to give me a vote, whether you think it should be a no bill, no further action, case gone, or a true bill. Send it to trial. Andy, I'm coming to you first.
No bill.
No bill for Andy. James.
No bill.
Tim.
No bill.
3 will do it, but let's go all the way around the room. Steve, no bill?
No bill.
And P. Ray said her so clearly that I understand, unless her mind has been changed. I don't think it was. Your arguments were weak. I think she's a no bill as well. Am I right, P. Ray?
Correct. No bill.
There we go. I tell you what, Big Ron, put the clock up, because there was something particular about this one that I'd like to get our expert witnesses involved in this one. Jason, what did you think about the video?
Well, people are kind of missing I think the whole thing is the original, why did they approach him in the first place? So, and I think this is what you're talking about. This is a classic Terry Frisk thing. A lot of people think you need probable cause to approach somebody. You just need reasonable suspicion, and then you can actually conduct a search based upon your suspicion for weapons, and that's exactly what they did. So people just look at the fruit of the poisonous tree is what it's called. Were the officers in justification to actually approach the guy in the first place? In my opinion, 100% yes, they were. And then the way the guy was acting, 100%, that just added to their suspicion to actually search the suspect for a weapon. And then it just went from there.
Maddie B., what'd you see?
Yeah, just to go along with Jason, I became extremely concerned when he was doing the unproductive searching of the snacks. If you look at that part, I mean, you could definitely tell that this thing had the potential to go sideways for the frisk. Thanks, Joe.
I think Terry v. Ohio is the Terry Frisk that people will talk about, or the stop and frisk. It all came out of a case. Goes back to, I think, the 50s, right? Yeah, I think if you imagine this, it was probably in black and white. But you had street detectives that or officers that are walking beats. You had a seasoned veteran police officer that had observed, I believe he was a detective actually, but he observed 3 men that at one point they were not standing near each other. One was at a corner, one was at a doorway, one was a little further down the street, or maybe even across the street, actually across the street if I remember correctly. But he observes that they keep making eye contact with each other as if they know each other, but yet they're not talking. So it gets his attention. He observes a little longer. He sees one man that was across the street now crosses the street, and they all gathered together in a doorway near a shop. And this is a downtown street area. He goes up and makes contact, pretty much grabs one by the arm, pulls his arm up, starts patting him down. And I think there's some other officers there with him. But either way, at least one or all 3 of those men were arrested for possession of a firearm. They take it to the Supreme Court, said he didn't have probable cause or even reasonable suspicion. He just picked this guy off out of the blue and started harassing him, is the way it goes to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court doesn't see it the same way. What they said is that an officer's experience and that gut with anything else that they can articulate is enough for making contact and this Terry Frisk, this pat down. The reason I say this case is almost like a modern day version of it. As they drive down the street, there are 3-4 people, including the suspect, that are either coming out of the store or standing outside of this corner store. They observe that. That catches their eye. So as they drive by, but they see the suspect come out, do this furtive movement, put his head down, and spin around and walk back into the store very quickly. This is furtive movement. This is that gut feeling that something's not right with that guy. And as they go in, nothing. And as it progresses, it even gets worse. He's been over at the forever looking for the Nutty Buddies that he can't find on the shelf. But the reason he's been over, he stands up, you'll be able to see, he'll imprint. You'll be able to see the firearm that he's got stuck in his waist. But I think good law enforcement by one police officer there. I think the second, I don't know what she was doing, but she wasn't assisting in anything. Did anybody catch that? Jason, did you catch that?
Yeah, once you commit to hands-on, you commit to hands-on, and if there's two of you there, you both commit to hands-on. That he never should have got away. If once he starts to resist, it's game on. You don't let him get away.
Yeah, no, it's I've noticed this with especially West Coast law enforcement, and I don't know, maybe we could be watching an FTO here, so I may be being harsh when I shouldn't be, but in these type of situations, you've got an experienced officer that has to keep the inexperienced officer safe and out of the way. I've literally seen gunfights where they've got their hand on the other officer just so that they don't get too far away, or they fall on them while they're engaged in a gunfight. We saw almost the same thing here tonight. I thought that was interesting. But enough with the pondering and pontificating. Big Ron, let's drop that clock. Let's set it back to 0. Let's go to case number 2. You know what? I had that issue earlier. Go to case number 3.
This video contains graphic descriptions, language, and footage that may be disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. On Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025, at approximately 1:23 p.m., Pueblo Police contacted an alleged shoplifter at Famous Footwear at 5765 North Elizabeth Street. The male suspect ran from the scene and was pursued by Pueblo police officers on foot and via vehicle behind area businesses. The suspect brandished a handgun and ignored repeated commands to drop his weapon. After failing to comply with commands and running toward an occupied vehicle and building, the suspect was struck by the Pueblo police vehicle.
You want to get tased? Drop the gun! Drop the gun now! Drop it! Drop your gun! Tommy's got a gun. He pulled the gun out on me. Drop the gun! Headed south across the grass. Careful, guys. He's got that gun in his hand. Drop your gun! Rated up wheels, calm towards CDA office. Still got a gun in his hand. Drop your gun now! Drop it! Drop it! He's walking now, calm, but we have no cover out here. Go.
Drop the gun!
Come.
Drop the gun!
Dice is in the truck, following him. Northbound towards CDOT office. CSP office.
Drop it!
Still headed north towards Wills. In the field across from CSP. Careful, guys.
Get out of the way!
No, we got him. He's walking, but he won't stop. Call CSP. Tell them to get their people out of their parking lot.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop it! Drop it! Don't let him get over there. Davis, you're taking my son away. Drop it! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop it! Drop it! I'm gonna bust him. He turns. Drop it! Drop the gun! Closer, closer, closer. Watch the backdrop. Get out of the way! Get out of the way! You want me to hit him? He's going to that car! I'm gonna hit him.
Rescue efforts were attempted. However, the suspect was pronounced deceased at the scene.
Folks, that's actually your second case. We've had a little load issue there. We'll fix that. But that's case number 3 for the night, labeled number 3. This was a shoplifting suspect. You saw how officers approached. You heard what the dispatch called, what officers knew. Foot pursuit ensued. They could see a gun in his hand. He didn't have it concealed. And as he approached the CSP office, which by the way is Colorado State Patrol office, there were pedestrians, and they showed you in the surveillance video. They showed you the pedestrians standing by. So there were people that he was running towards. But they ended that by running him over with a truck, and he is deceased, a DRT case. Any parts of this video we'd like to see again, or any questions? No video?
I think I've seen everything I need to see.
I think it's noteworthy just to see it again. So let's just go to that.
I may have laughed a little bit.
I do like the little police car on the dash rolling back and forth.
I thought I was the only one that was going to be laughing. Okay, good.
I think I peed my pants a little bit.
You can talk around. I muted the audio so you can talk this through. So here's the shoplifter. He's heading out. And probably if direction of travel is 12 o'clock, probably about 12:30, you've got pedestrians across the street.
Yeah, I saw those dudes standing in the parking lot.
It looked like everybody's running out of gas except for the truck and that police car on the dash. It's got gas. He's like, man, I'm just tired of running, but let me catch my breath. He said, all right, I'm going to run over here. I'm going to run over here to this parking lot. What do y'all think about that? And you've got another officer in the passenger seat that's got a shotgun. He looked like out the window, but he never took a shot. And clearly, you can see the firearm.
That's a great High Point ad, by the way.
Yeah, that is a High Point firearm. Okay, no questions. Big Ron, give us a clock. P. Ray, I'm going to come to you first on this one, my dear. What do you think about this whole scenario and how it ended?
I think that they exercised a great deal of patience with him. The man obviously had a firearm. He pointed it at an officer. At that point, the officer had the right to respond, but he didn't. They actually slow walked him down. And when he had his gun and was going toward pedestrians, they took measures to protect those pedestrians. So for that reason, I think that the officers did the right thing. No bill.
I think Mayhem left a comment and he said cardio is very important. Don't skip cardio days, folks. It's important.
Man, the officer was about to fall out. I felt so bad for him.
You know what? I thought about. I thought the same thing, and we'll get Jason to maybe chime in on this as well, or even Maddie. I was almost like I got on the radio and said, "Hey, hold up, let me get in the back of the truck. At least I could do something." I'm an observer at that point, but that's a long run. Jason, what would you done? That'd been the first thing come through my mind is get on the radio and say, "Hey, hold up, let me get in the back."
I'll hold off.
Yeah, don't say anything to taint our jury. Andy, your first initial impression on this and how firm is your position?
Honestly, I felt like they were yelling at him more than I yell at my own son. Like, I wouldn't have given my son that many chances. So I think the cop was in the right because he had a gun and they told him many times to stop, and he didn't. And not only were they in danger, once again, could have put other people in danger. So, I mean, I think the cops did what they were supposed to do. I think maybe they could have been a little bit faster, but, you know, that's just my point.
Faster with the pedal or faster with the gun?
Maybe in the beginning of the video, he said he had tasered, correct?
Yes.
So maybe if he had a good shot, but maybe to the pedal as well.
Okay. James, what's your take and how firm is your position?
I got no bill for these guys. The actions they took, and I thought they could have acted sooner. To be honest, he was a threat to the officers themselves, and they didn't use lethal force until he became a threat to those other pedestrians. So, you know, I'm a big believer in self-defense, but I think that applies to officers of the law as well. So, I think they should be taking action to protect themselves a little bit sooner, and maybe we have less shot cops.
Okay. Tim, where are you at?
Probably where everybody else is. I couldn't tell. Did they ask him to drop the gun? That's what I can't get over, man.
They asked him
I
a few
just
times.
don't understand what part of drop the gun is not universally understood.
Well, there does sometimes seems to be a language barrier there. Maybe I'm not sure, but you're a no bill on that.
Absolutely.
Range-minded podcast.
Yeah, that's an obvious no bill. They gave him plenty of opportunity to, maybe too much opportunity, but yeah, once the need was for force, there was already public in danger with folks in the parking lot. It was no need to keep it going. No bill for sure.
Very good. Is anybody here? Nobody. Has anybody changed their mind? Everybody's a no bill. No one's changed their mind. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I just wanted to say real quick with this guy, the fact that he has his gun out over a shoplifting deal indicates that he's not in his right mind and he is a danger to everybody. That's why I thought they should have acted on him sooner. If he's waving a gun around, you know, why wait?
Well, and I get what you guys are saying. Actually, let's get a verdict up and then we'll talk about it. I didn't hear anybody say nay on the verdict for no bill, so let's post a no bill on that. Let's put that clock back up there, manage our time a little bit, Big Ron, and let's talk about this for a second. First, I want to go to the expert witnesses. You guys give me your opinions on this one real quick. Actually, let me back up. Before I do that, I saw this one on X, and they just show the very end of it where the guy gets hit with the truck. And the comments on that were, they just run him down. It was disrespectful. What's going and all the things about how law enforcement is gone crazy and just out here assassinating and killing citizens. But we find that that's not exactly the case, though, when we watch the entire video. But Jason, what's your take on this?
I say this every week, and this is a perfect example of the priorities of life. And it's the victims, number one. Number two is the bystander. Number three is the cops. And number four is the suspect. In my mind, I probably would have, in my mind, I was saying, run him over. I mean, he's got a gun. He's running towards a police department in a mall. But also in the same breath, I think those cops, the line in their sand was, he has a handgun. They have a typical knowledge on the range of the handgun. And their line in the sand was, when that guy hits that range that other people are in jeopardy, we're taking them out. And I think that's exactly what they did. And I would have done the exact same thing. And Steve, just see where I laughed a little bit and tooted at the same time when I saw the guy get hit. So,
wow, that was colorful. Maddie, what you think about this one?
Yeah, definitely no bill. And as Miss Ray said, plenty of commands given. And then once we headed towards an area where additional people were, immediate deadly force. And Joe, I think a lot of the comments are, would have done it faster, this and that. But I think, as we talked about before on the show, a couple shows prior, that, and I know Jason could probably lend to this too, is that you may be having apprehension creeping into the minds of police officers, because I think they may be thinking, what's going to happen if I do this, before even, taking away the threat. They may be concerned about, should I do this or should I not, when there's other people, in obvious danger.
You're talking about second guessing themselves or being hesitant to use force? That's what you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. This is something Jason and I have talked about, and we talked about it with panelists as well, that it seems to be a trend on in law enforcement going back a few years, that there does to be some hesitancy before they do something that they probably should have done sooner. But Ms. Ray, I wanted to come to you. I'm going to go back to the panel on this. We only have about a couple of minutes that we can go over it, but I'd like to get what the overall impression of somebody being struck with a vehicle. It's not something we necessarily see all the time. It's not common in police use of force either. But was there an aspect of the vehicle being used that makes one maybe lean to maybe it was too much force? Do you feel that way, P. Ray?
Well, when I saw the guy get hit by the car, obviously that's not something nice to look at. But then again, he was running toward pedestrians with a gun, and the police gave him chance after chance after chance to do right. Now, I don't think that they should have hit him as hard. Maybe they could have bumped him and grabbed him. I don't know. I wasn't in that situation, but I do know that the goal is to make sure that pedestrians and civilians are safe, and we don't want to victimize villains. It was really clear in this situation who the villain was, and we're happy that the police stepped in to protect the general public.
Very well said. Range is using the vehicle. Does that make it set a certain? And I'm kind of going to what we talk about as lawful but awful. There are some things we watch here that it's awful to watch, but it's not unlawful. It's not illegal. It's
Right.
in fact, the force is even reasonable when there's even a guy in his wheelchair can present at times can present himself as a danger where you've got to shoot a guy in a wheelchair. We've seen that. Does the vehicle present that type of feeling in you?
Not for me personally, but I could see how some public perception might feel awful to them. But like Jason stated, man, they needed to stop the threat, and there was far less possible collateral damage using the pickup than throwing rounds downrange into a building.
Fair enough. Tim, real quick, just about the vehicle portion. We will run out of time if we get too deep.
Yeah, I had just made the comment. Maybe they should have used the pit maneuver on the guy. I'm sorry.
I'm going to James for that. James, tell me about the use of the vehicle. Does that make you feel a certain way?
I say lethal force is lethal force. So if you have a vehicle that's an effective means of delivering that force and ending the threat without putting others in danger, well, then you use it. I don't have there's no tiers of lethal force. If he had a button that could erase that guy from existence, then I would suggest he push it.
Now, I think you hit the nail on the head. It doesn't matter what the weapon is; it's the lethal force necessary at that point. And I think it was, and they used the weapon that was most available to them, which was a Ford pickup truck. It looked like. Andy, real quick, just tell me, what was it? Did it make you feel a certain kind of way that police run a guy over, hit him with a car?
Nope, you got to use what you got to use, and that was the only option that they had. So, nope.
Very good. I'm going to tell you, I'm a little surprised, and I'm going off of the comments I saw on this X post that was running around this week on this. There were a lot of comments that just using a vehicle just shouldn't be done at all. It was a bad faux pas. But with that, let's try case number 2 again. Big Ron, you see it there at the bottom. See if that want to run. Let's get to case 2. So as you see, a 911 call with a naked man chasing a woman with a knife near a location, an intersection Seaway Lane. This is the first responding officer. And for those of you that don't know, the video equipment in body-worn cameras and even in cars, they record when you hit the button. As you just
Hey,
saw
buddy, how are you?
It goes backwards and records the video for a while.
I tell you what, you gotta drop the knife if I want to talk to you, okay? Can you drop the knife for me? What's your name? Hey, stay back. Stay back. It's correct. Come on out of here. Stay back. I'm not shooting you. Drop the knife for me. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Chambers, shot fire, shot fire. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. Drop the knife.
Hey, I got none. I got none.
Fred, come on out here.
Stay back.
We're gonna dress you back.
I'm not shooting you. Drop the knife for me. Drop the knife. You do it for black people all the time. Drop the knife. Do you not? Do you not? Do you not? Do you not? Shot fire. Shot fire. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Zap. You got me dying within the dress. Chambers, start me EMS now.
All right. That is the third case of the night. Disturbed person call, or you could look at it as a domestic, as a naked man's chasing a woman with a knife. You had multiple officers respond. We saw a video camera from two of those. They attempted to tase him, talk to him. They attempted to tase him. The taser failed, and he charged at the officer, and that's how that ended. Any portions of this video that we'd like to see again?
I want you to roll back the part about black people, because I want to know what we got to do with this.
No, he for sure said that, didn't he? Let me get the audio up here. I believe it's going to be this one. Let's see.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife. I'm not shooting you. Drop the knife for me. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. I'm not shooting you. Drop the knife for me. Drop the knife. Drop.
Yeah, he said that for a fact, didn't he?
He did. He said, just shoot me. You all do it to black people all the time. What? Okay, sorry. It's not my turn. I just wanted to get clarity.
It was an odd statement to say, but I would say also a product of modern media. It seems to be the theme. Whether it be true or not, I think warrants investigation.
Oh, no. My point is that he wanted to be shot so bad that he wanted to be treated like a black person. That's just so bizarre for me to hear. He's like, you do it for black people all the time. Just shoot me. He wanted to be shot. This is suicide by cop.
True that. Any portion of the video anybody else wants to see before we go to deliberations?
Can we look at officer number 2 when he ends up shooting the bad guy?
I got none.
Fred, come on out here.
Stay back.
We're gonna dress you back.
I'm not shooting you. Drop the knife for me. Drop the knife. You do it for black people all the time. Drop the knife. Do you not? Do you not? Do you not? Do you not?
You see what you needed to?
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I thought he was using his firearm, but it was the taser. I was a little cringed out by him shooting the direction of the other officer, but it was a taser, so I'm good with that.
Oh, really? Would that make a difference for you to indict somebody?
No, I was just concerned about him shooting his fellow officer.
Okay. All right, let's put up a clock. I don't think I hear any more questions, and let's go to some deliberations. I'm coming to you first, James. What's your initial impression on this?
I got no bill for him. The guy was chasing the officer down with a knife, and the other guy had less than lethal. I'd like to ask any of the law enforcement present, why did they have him on less than lethal if he's got a knife?
They could have cleared leather on him. He had a knife. He had a deadly weapon, but that's a personal choice for the officer. What he feels like is the tool that he wants to utilize first.
Okay.
Typically, if you have two people there, one will be less, one will be lethal. Like if you hit a house or something, you always have less lethal in the stack. So if you have more than one officer there, you'll have options.
And this is actually something we can talk about after the deliberations. It really doesn't have anything to do whether the officers used reasonable force or not. But I'm thinking you're leaning towards reasonable force there, right, James?
Yeah, I was saying no bill off the top.
Gotcha. Andy.
My brain is still trying to process Naked Man. I would have to say no bill because the fact that they did already try to stop him with a taser, and apparently that didn't stop him. So and then he went to attack. So yes, that's protecting yourself. So definitely no bill.
Okay, and it's recorded, Andy. If you want to go back and review it later, it's up to you. Tim.
Gross.
Your voice, sir. What do you feel about this?
No bill.
Very good. And P. Ray?
No bill.
Yeah, this one's honestly isn't very difficult. So let's did we get to you at range? Did I skip you?
You skipped me, but definitely no bill. Being a student of a knife, I know that he was a very big threat to that officer.
Without a doubt, I think there's some good examples of that. Let's go ahead and post a no bill and throw that 7 minutes back up. Now, Jason, this is something you talk about a lot. Tasers are not as effective as people think about. And it's also a discussion we have many times is how far is a knife dangerous? And I'll say that in this case, I think it's a good example of both. Taser's not always 100% effective, and how fast that a fat, naked man can close the distance with you coming around cars. This officer is falling down. Without getting into whether there should be a taser in the stack or not, because that's another discussion I'd like to have real quick. And if we've only got 7 minutes, so I can get everybody's opinion. But Jason, go first.
No, I was questioning why there was less lethal even deployed in the first place. You have a gun there against a knife until that person starts to comply. Okay. And he closed that gap quick. I mean, that was literally seconds, and that knife is on that cop's back. And that is not a good place to be.
Yeah, I agree. And I think everyone in the jury agreed with you on that one as well. Maddie, your opinion, sir.
From a federal standpoint, as Joe and Jason know, usually when we go out, we don't have situations where it's 2-on-1, 1-on-1. It's usually a group, and we would have steps or a process to deadly force.
And in this case, I think there was a miscommunication between the officers. Both officers had non-lethal. And you heard the second officer when he got out, he said, "I've got non-lethal." But the original officer he deployed. It was the first officer point of view we saw who deployed the taser. So I think there was a miscommunication between the officers. And then I also want to address something, Range, you said. I say that you can shoot as close to me without hitting me. And if you have to shoot in my direction to kill someone chasing me with a knife, brother, aim well. I'm not one of these that don't shoot near me, though. I'm scared. I'm probably more afraid with the crazy guy with a knife than I am the cop that might hit me with a stray.
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken that shot as well, but it just being a instructor is what.
Yeah, you firearm instructors are the worst. Y'all want to go out in a gunfight like it's a range. You guys are horrible.
I ain't scared. I'll shoot back.
I tell you what, talking about ranges and range-minded, let's throw up some little information about the Range-Minded podcast, Big Ron.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, man, what time does the store close? Or where's the best cheeseburger near me? Well, I'm not going to answer those questions. That's what your damn phone is for. Use that. Instead, if you have stuff related, to the 2A world, I'm your man. My name's Steve. I run the Range-Minded podcast. On the podcast, we talk about all things Second Amendment, whether it be new guns or gear. Maybe we talk about some training. We'll dig into Washington and the shenanigans they get up to. Sometimes we talk about the Supreme Court and the crap that they're doing. It's always a good time, a little smorgasbord of the 2A, if you don't mind me using that narrative. Either way, you can find us whether on YouTube or Rumble, Range-Minded Podcast. I'm also on all sorts of streaming services, wherever you listen to your podcast, Range-Minded Podcast. You can jump on the website, rangemindedpodcast.com. Maybe stop by, buy a patch and some other things. There you can link to the social medias and all that other stuff. Hope to see you there. It's always a good time. Anyways, you guys have fun, stay safe, and always stay range-minded. See you guys soon.
Yes, folks, that's our very own Range-Minded podcast. Very good. I'm glad we got that out of the way. I'm ready to go to the next video. Did we lose P. Ray?
We lost P. Ray. Steve, I got one question. Where is the best burger near you?
Oh man, there is now I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it is fantastic. You put me on the spot. It's definitely not Five Guys. It's definitely not Five Guys.
You ready, Joe?
Well, yes, I am. Let's run it. Okay, you've got a robbery in a place called Signal Hill. And you're about to start hearing radio traffic that's being dispatched out to police officers responding to this armed robbery at a grocery store in a place called Signal Hill. So if you see the graphic, there was the armed robbery is the location of the grocery store it happened. A short chase where law enforcement lose sight of the vehicle where you see the second pin is.
Hi, Long Beach.
And here's the radio.
Hey, we had some officers at Willow and Magnolia that saw your units rolling code 3. They're just wondering what you guys have there.
Yeah, I was just about to call you guys. We had an armed robbery at... he went in with a loss and stole $500 of cash. The suspect vehicle was last seen westbound on Willow. They lost eyes on him at Willow and Pacific. And the vehicle is a silver Honda Accord.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Yep. Yeah, no problem.
It is a silver Honda Accord with a plate of 8.
Okay.
The suspect's description is a male Hispanic wearing a black hoodie and white shoes.
That was communication between one police department and another because it went into a different jurisdiction. So that was the second agency was made aware of this burglary, and they're responding to a collision.
Get over here. I'm talking to you. Walk this way. Walk this way. Keep your hands out of your pocket. Put your hands on the hood. Put your hands on the hood.
What happened, sir?
Keep your hands up. Hey, Eric. Keep your hands on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again. Hey. Hey, 417, left pocket.
We're at 16th and Harbor.
Separate your feet.
Black backpack. We're going to check it out.
Hey, keep your hands in your pocket. Put them on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again.
We got one at gunpoint on Harbor, south of BCH.
Keep your hands on the hood. Put your hands on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again. Keep your hands on the hood. 417 on the right pocket. Hey, I see the gun. You got a gun. Go reach for you.
was just trying to get on my knees.
Hey, you're not hit, right?
Is that a pop-up hamburger stand he was standing next to at 2 in the morning?
Put your hands on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again.
Hey, brother.
Keep your hands on the
We
hood.
have a robbery.
What's your name? Right pocket.
Hey, I see the gun.
You got a gun, don't reach for it. You can get shot.
All right, get on the.
I was just trying to get on my knees.
Hey, he's got the gun. He's got the gun in his pocket.
He's got the gun set. Do not reach.
All units, 998.
Come on, open the door. No, we're not gonna approach.
Hey, my man, put your arms out to your sides.
Who's gonna be you? Gonna be verbal?
Okay, I'm gonna be verbal.
Okay, someone check
Hey, dude. Hey, we want to help you. Okay, we want to help you. Okay, do me a favor. Get on your stomach. I need to see your hand.
No need for a perimeter.
Try.
On the ground.
Please, brother.
We're trying to get them to comply.
Brother, I'm trying to help you. Try your hardest to get that hand out. I don't want you to get hurt, okay? Dude, I know that gun is on your right side, so we can't approach. We can't approach until your hand is out. Please, brother. Try your best to get that hand out of without the gun, okay? Lay on your stomach then. Lay on your stomach.
I still got ice. Hey, put your arms out by your sides.
Doing more on that side?
Hey, put your arms out so we can help you.
It's in his right pocket. Hey. Okay, listen, we see his right hand, okay? Are we everybody? Somebody get gloves on? We're gonna go hands on. You got, okay, listen, you see his hand? Okay.
We'll just go right for his hand.
Okay, go right for his right hand.
We're gonna help you out, man. Don't reach for anything.
All right, go for his right hand. Go, do it. Grab his right hand. Right hand. Right hand.
All right, folks, there is your maybe fifth case. Did we skip? We skipped 4, didn't we? I believe we did. Okay. Regardless, that's case labeled number 5. That is our case for the night, for this evening. Excuse me. Any portions of the video we want to see again?
I have a request.
We go. Oh,
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
It might be the same one. Can we go and see back to where he's placing his hands on the hood? I just was wanting to hear the verbal commands from the officers.
Yep, me too.
What happened, sir? Keep your hands up. Hey, Eric. Keep your hands on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again. Hey. Hey, 417, left pocket.
5, we're at 16th and Harbor.
Separate your feet.
Black backpack, we're gonna check it out.
Hey, keep your hands in your pocket. Put them on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again.
We got one at gunpoint on Harbor south of BCH. Where possible.
Keep your hands on the hood.
Witness.
Put your hands on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again. Keep your hands on the hood. 417 on the right pocket.
Hey, I see the gun.
You got a gun. Don't reach for it. You can get shot. Okay,
Get on
your knee.
Did that satisfy what you need to see, or hear it again? See or hear it again?
I'd like to see it again, please.
I need you to phrase that in the form of a question.
Gunpoint on Harbor
Alex, may I see it again?
Keep your hands on the hood. Put your hands on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again. Keep your hands on the hood. 417 on the right pocket. Hey, I see the gun. You got a gun. Go reach for it. You can get shot. Okay, get on your knee.
Again?
No, I don't think I'm going to see anything different.
All right. If there's no more questions, let's put a clock up, Big Ron. Let's start deliberations. I'm going to go to you first, Andy.
This one kind of like confuses me because they tell him to put his hands on the hood and then get on your knees. I feel like that's what he was trying to do. I didn't see his hand from my angle, from what I could see, reach for anything. And I could see the cops, of course, telling him over again to put the hands on the hood. But then the other cops said get on your knees. So I would have to say, I don't know yet. That's just my opinion right now.
Okay, so you haven't made up your mind yet. Let's hear some other folks' other folks' opinion on this. You know what? I'm going to go to someone I think is very persuasive, P. Ray. See if you can convince Andy to jump from one side of the fence to the other.
I think that this is a bill. Definitely. What state are they in?
California.
California. So I don't know what their gun laws are, but so if he's allowed to carry the gun, there are ways to disarm him before it escalated to that point. You have one person telling him to put his hands on the car. You have another person telling him to get on his knees, and then they both shoot him. I think this was overkill. I hate that we had to watch it over and over. But yes, this is a bill. He did everything that they asked him to do, and there was no reason for that amount of force.
Okay. James, your take.
I've got it's going to seem kind of duplicitous, guys. I think that two things can be true at once. I think he was trying to comply. I think he was just about to get on his knees. I don't think he was going for his gun. But in the situation where these officers are responding to an armed robbery, and this is an armed robbery suspect, he's got a gun on him. It's in his waistband. They've seen it already. And he makes any move toward it, regardless of what I think of his state of mind. I think that the officers have to react to that. So I don't have a bill for him.
Well, let me ask you this. Would it make a difference if the gun was not in his waistband, but it was in his hoodie pocket? The officer announced it correctly. He called it out by whatever the code is for gun in his right pocket, but it was in his hoodie pockets where the gun was at.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Okay. Tim.
This is where I'm going to have to give proper respect to the policemen. They don't have P. Ray, I'm sorry. I wasn't wanting to see him being shot over and over. I wanted to see what the movement was. That's all. And I apologize that it bothered me too. But anyway, that the cops don't have the benefit of replay, and let me think.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah, this is a tough one, but man, action's always faster than reaction. I think I'm gonna go no bill on this one. If he had the firearm in his pocket and he put his hands down there, it's just a fraction of a second to clear leather. And he's the state of California, well, we're not going to get into the state of California gun laws, but yeah, I think I'm going to go no bill.
Where are we at, Big Ron? Are we 3 undecided and 1 each on bill and true bill?
I think we are. I think we're deadlocked right now.
No, James has decided. James was clear. You're right. You're a no bill. Am I right, James?
That's right.
So we're 2-1 no bill with 2 undecided. Andy, has anybody else's point of view or
Yeah.
discussion helped you?
I think James, yeah, I would have to, because I was only looking at that. So prior to that, the whole armed robbery, so on, and not knowing, then yeah, I would say no bill.
Okay, Tim, you were on the fence. Have you decided which side you're going to land on?
Man, I don't like it. But I'm not out there on the streets. I'm not in the position where I might be killed. I'm just going to have to go no bill.
Okay, that sounds like 4-1 for a no bill. P. Ray, are you firm in your position?
Yes, I am.
Let me ask you this: would it make a difference if you considered that maybe there were conflicting commands or whatever? I don't think the guy appeared to be confused, or it didn't appear to me that he was confused. Of course, I don't know. I'm not him. But it didn't appear that he put a lot of effort into not putting his hand near the gun. He did it twice. Does that make a difference to you?
Yeah, I watched him do that. But I think that because the gun was visible, the guy walked up to them with a gun. If he wanted to hide the gun, he would have left the gun in the car. So that's why I was thinking, like, was he supposed to carry the gun? Like,
Well,
and that doesn't
he
matter.
had a wreck running from the next city over. He had an accident. His car was disabled. They found him standing by this truck, by this whatever this food vendor is on the sidewalk. So he didn't have a car. He was just standing on the side of the road. He was description that matched the burglar, which is pretty damn close description. They're black over black.
Again, I just saw a guy who walked up to officers or was standing there with a gun. He didn't try to hide the gun. He put his hands on the hood, and then he tried to kneel, and they shot him. I don't know if there were ways for them to disarm him. I don't know how police are trained in that situation. But based on what I saw somebody who definitely complied and was shot. And then they kept shooting. And then, that's when the compassion began. That's when it's brother, let me help you. Bill, 100%.
Very well. It's going to be a split decision. It's still a no bill, but that's a first split decision of the night. I like it. Let's talk to Jason. Jason, what's your impression on this?
Steve was right. This is an action reaction thing. When I first watched it, I was like, Jesus, that was quick, and that was my gut. But I will say again, what line? So when my partner tells me right pocket or right side, I am watching that person's right hand like a hawk. And if that hand moves in a manner to reach for that, that's my line in the sand. And I also agree. The verbal commands were horrible. It let him get on the ground, and that's where I'm not sure in my mind they crossed the line in the sand for me. If it was in his pocket, one thing. If it's in a holster, completely different. Now the speed is way picked up because it's easily accessible. So if it's in his, he would have to stick his hand in there to grab the gun. I don't fault them, but in the same breath, I personally think they shot too soon. They didn't cross my line that I would have made in that moment.
It was extremely quick. Maddie, what do you think, sir?
I have a true bill. The commands. It took him a couple minutes to get the hands on the hood and follow those commands. But then when he was told to kneel, without showing the video again to the gruesome part, Joe, when he steps back, when he's told to kneel, there's a brief where you'll see his hands actually extend away from his body. And that's what concerned me, to where I would true bill this. And we have to remember, just by saying true bill, you're not saying anybody's guilty. It's not the verdict. It's just that you want to look at it closer. That's what the indictment process is. So I would say true bill because, like I said, when he steps back, his hands extend from his body for a slight moment, if you wanted to show that again, Joe. But I'm true bill.
Yeah, I agree with Matt. I said he didn't cross that line to shoot yet, in my opinion.
Very good. It is a tough one. And we'll go back to the airman, the gentleman that was shot in Oklahoma City. I said the same thing about that. I can get where the officer may have some apprehension or some antenna would be up, as you would say. But that guy in Oklahoma City was the fastest draw in the West. And that I just think it was too quick. And I agree. I think it was a little quick on this one. I don't know that I'd go as far as a no bill, because I think I think it's reasonable that a person would think, you know what? I don't know where I stand on that. I'm worse than Andy on this one.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
I lean towards no bill on it, and I go back to what I asked P. Ray. It's like, you know what? A lot of things were confusing, but what was not confusing was don't put your hand down near that gun. And I think that if he cared for his life, he would have made sure to be very clear that he's not.
The other thing, Joe, too, is why are
go ahead.
Why are they there? He just committed an armed robbery.
Yeah, and by the way, he was the person that committed the armed robbery and stole $500. So this was the guy. Go ahead, James, real quick.
I just wanted to say real quick, a lot of these, the subject of whether the subject of lethal force deserves things or not comes up, and I gotta caution people when they think about these things from an ethical standpoint to get away from what the suspect deserved in this scenario. He might have, deserved a trip to Hawaii for all I know. Deserves something for Jesus to discuss with. It comes up in these. A use of lethal force does not depend on what the subject of that force deserves.
No, it's and you're right. Lethal force cannot be used to execute some sort of a sentence or any punishment or any just deserve. You're right. It can only be used when the person using it has a credible fear for their life.
That's right.
This guy had a gun. It wasn't exposed. It was in his pocket. You could see that if you go back to the video, you can see the portion of the Glock sticking out of this hoodie. But it's the butt end. All it takes is a hand in. You don't even have to bring it out to get the first shot off. So, I mean, I can see where officers are a little hinked up a little bit, but I think when you've been a police officer, you've been in these types of situations before. For me, anyway, I was always surprised I had more time than your mind will trick you that you don't have enough time, but you don't have a lot of time, but you do have a little more time than how fast your brain is pushing in these type of situations. So I don't know which way I'd go with it, but I agree with everyone's assessment, including you, P. Ray, that, man, it was quick. It was quick, and most likely this guy wasn't going for the gun. He was trying to figure out a way to go to the ground, and I don't know why he wouldn't just keep his hands away from the gun.
Yeah, and can I say, too, it's good to have a disagreeing or a dissenting opinion with P. Ray. Somebody's got to stand up for the suspect in this scenario, and I like to hear that side of it.
Well, that's what a jury's about. Everyone comes in. There's not a wrong or right answer. There's your right and your wrong answer. And everyone gets their vote. And P. Ray, she didn't buckle under pressure because everybody else was going the other way. She stood her ground, and that's what every juror should do. If it was a criminal jury, and let's say P. Ray felt that the suspect or the defendant wasn't guilty, no matter how many times you straw a vote, how many times people try to convince you, if you're not convinced, you should stand your ground, because by God, that's what makes us American and the only way our system works. But we talk a lot about legal things here, but many of you may not know that we've had Judge Joe Brown, the Judge Joe Brown, as a special prosecutor, learn something that night. Learn something that he's got a line of barbecue sauce that is quite delicious. Very coarse ground ingredients in it. It hangs onto the meat. Comes in 3 flavors in the box. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it from Judge Joe Brown or jjbbarbecue.com. But check this out.
Introducing Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor. With one taste of our premium blends of all-natural ingredients, herbs, and spices, you'll fall in love with meat all over again. Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce collection is made up of 2 zesty flavors, original and spicy.
Law firms will take this as a retainer.
What? It must be a law firm where they hungry as hell. Now you gonna help me with this parole I'm dealing with?
Judge Joe Brown. Folks, if you're into barbecuing any at all, you can get it from his website. He says that it's a little faster if you get it from Amazon, but either way, you should pick up a set of that and test it and let us know. Our own Bruce Wayne's got his set of bottles, and we're quite impressed with what we've seen in that. Good stuff. Support our friend Judge Joe Brown. Big Ron, where are we at on cases? We got off on numbers. I think case 4 has not been seen. Am I right about that?
We need to do case 4, and if time permits, case 6.
Where are we at on time? Let's go with case 4. Let's get it going.
Long Beach 911, do you need police, fire?
It's CC with the police transfer. Go ahead, ma'am.
What address are you?
Ciérrate, Orlando, ciérrate, no lo dejes entrar.
CHP, what's the address?
Yes, my address is 69 Way, Long Beach.
What's the problem?
My son has a knife. He's crazy. I don't know what's going on with him. He has a knife. He
has
my
a knife?
son. Okay.
Is he inside the house?
Yes, he's still inside the house.
Okay, what
he has
happened?
a knife and he started stabbing himself.
Okay, all right. Stay on the phone. I'm going to get the paramedics over there, okay? Is anybody else in the house with him?
No, it's me and my mom, and it's my older brother that's doing it. Yeah.
Three boy 23, your authorized code 3 and the 929 Adam at 69th Way. The son is stabbing himself inside the residence and it was transferred via CHP. Subject has anxiety and is walking around, stabbed himself in the chest and in the neck. 373, do you copy?
Copy, we'll be on it.
Tempra. Units on the 929 Adam, it is going to be 901K and further CP is locked in the residence with his mother. Subject is security officer but does have access to a 417.
Yeah, I've been out there before.
373, we're checking now. Subject just said he needed to kill the family, but he couldn't. He's male Hispanic, 38 years, named Eddie, and it is 901K. Units further on the 929 Adam, mother is 57 years old, conscious and breathing, and is bleeding from bottom right of her stomach and is inside the master bedroom with the CP.
I got a locked door here. Eddie? Hey, Eddie! I see him inside with some blood on him.
Hey, open the door.
Eddie, open the door! Yeah, cover the front.
Eddie! Hey, Long Beach Police Department, man, put your hands up.
They told me to do it, man.
All right, man, do me a favor.
They told me to do it.
I need you to drop what's on your hands right now. Drop the knife.
I didn't want to do it.
I know, Eddie.
Please, I didn't want to do it.
Eddie, I need you to drop the knife now, man.
They told me to do it, man.
Eddie, I'm trying to help you out, man. Drop the knife, man.
Please.
Eddie,
They told me to
I need you to drop the knife.
They told me to do it.
Knife, now. Put it on the ground, man. Eddie. Hey! Eddie, drop the knife, man. Drop the knife. Eddie, trying to help you out, man. Drop the knife. I see a knife down, man. Glove up, glove up.
I got gloves.
Hey, Eddie, stay on the ground, man. Eddie. Eddie. He's still holding the knife. Eddie, drop the knife, man. We're trying to help you out. Eddie, I need you to drop the knife, man. I cannot help you out if you're holding that knife. You guys gloved up?
Yeah, I'm gloved up.
Okay, Eddie, please, man. Just drop the knife. We're trying to help you and your family out.
Right.
Eddie, drop the knife. No, he's holding the knife and he's still moving. Eddie, I need you to please drop the knife, man. I'm trying to help you out. And I'm trying to help out your mother.
Okay, well, that was case 4, guys. Any parts of this you guys want to see again?
Sorry, folks, you caught me away from the mic. That is your case. Did everybody understand the call? There was a lot going on in the call.
It's not like he stabbed himself first, was cutting himself first, and then attacked his mother.
Attacked his mother, had 3 family members that were in the back of the house. They couldn't get out. They'd had to come through the area that he was in. But he was a mentally disturbed person, but he had stabbed his mother a couple of times already. She survived, but she was injured. Any portion we'd like to see again? All right, with that, let's do a clock up, Big Ron. Let's deliberate this. Tim, I'm coming to you first, putting you on the hot spot.
Okay, I'll take it.
And by the way, folks, look on this. You can look at excessive force on this one as well, because this force lasted a while.
Yeah. Again, my mind immediately goes to we're dealing with a mentally disturbed person. Based on my experience, I don't think they're capable of following verbal commands, but I don't know if the video was out of sync. I couldn't tell who was shooting.
The point of view, the video was off just a bit there. We've had a lag issue, I think. But the officer that the body worn camera view that we saw was the officer that was shooting.
Huh. The guy kept slipping and falling in his own blood. And in my opinion, probably catch a lot of flack for this, was not advancing. He couldn't. Let me think.
Okay. Andy, have you sorted it out yet?
It's hard because like I think it was Tim that you just spoke to. You could tell there was something wrong, of course, but from where I could see, I mean, he was gonna keep coming. He tried to tell him to put the knife down. That he was trying to help. He was trying to help, and he clearly wasn't listening. But I don't think he could have either way. So I'm gonna say no, Bill.
Okay. James, go ahead. And by the way, folks, some of these cases are hard, and this is a good example. Self-defense cases, justifiable use of force, are the most difficult cases for our justice system to handle. If it was a theft, you can bring in hard evidence. Somebody stole something or they didn't. It's much easier to make decisions on these cases. Here, you're having to put yourself there as a reasonable person, not necessarily yourself, but as a reasonable person, you're putting yourself there to try to determine, did the officer have a credible fear for threat to himself or a threat to others? And it applies in every case, no matter how ugly they are. They're difficult to decide. Sorry, James, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
That's all right.
I'd heard that twice, but this is very important. It's one of the reasons I do the show. These cases are very difficult to adjudicate and come to some sort of decision.
I'm not 100% on this one yet, but I'm leaning toward no, Bill, just for the fact that he's indoors. He's got the knife in his hand. He's obviously feeling no pain. He's covered with blood and doesn't seem to have any coherent response to questions. So I got to question whether there's drug use involved, or maybe he's off his meds that he should be on. The other point of significance I had was the officer stopped. I believe 3 separate times he pulled the trigger and stopped to assess whether the guy was still a threat. And I don't think it's for him to sit and guess whether, well, the guy's obviously going to slip and fall on that pool of blood in front of him, or he's obviously going to do that. Nah, I don't think there's any bill for me here, just because the possibility remained that he could do that guy serious harm.
Fair enough. No bill. Steve with a Range-Minded Podcast. What do you think, sir?
Given the circumstances that we've seen, he was definitely a threat to the officer and those in the family. No bill.
Okay. P. Ray.
I think that he was a threat to himself and the officers. And so no bill, but excessive force, definitely, because they were shooting him even as he was slipping in his own blood. I think by that time, the threat had definitely been extinguished. So definitely bill for the excessive force.
So you would vote for a true bill because they shot him more than you think they should have?
Absolutely.
I do want to bring up one more thing. The only other officer involved in this scenario was in another room and was not able to help, is my assessment of what I saw. So that's another kind of issue that we have with the officer alone in that room. He doesn't have that second backup. And there's a woman upstairs who needs medical attention that can't get there until this situation in the living room is resolved. So that's another thing that sort of adds to the urgency.
And he did have backup. He was the first one in the door. His backup was behind him. So he had backup, but
I thought his backup was upstairs with the woman.
And there were other officers. Single story home wasn't upstairs. He was. They'd gone around back to try to get them out of the window.
Okay, but the partner officer, I thought, was not in the room or present with this officer when he made.
He wasn't in the room. He was outside. He's standing outside of an exterior door. He shot from standing outside of an exterior door. The other officers are outside with him. There's more than one there with him.
Okay, so there's like 3 officers at least.
We could say that.
Yes. Okay.
All right, we've got. Anybody else want to weigh in on the excessive force? P. Ray said that the initial force was okay, but it went on too long. It was excessive. Does anybody else have that same? Because that would be a true bill.
I just think that the fact that we have someone that's injured, so you said, or the standard is, from what I understand, a threat to the officer or others. He was definitely a threat to the person who has the mother, I guess, who had been stabbed. And there was no way to get to her, from my understanding. So I'm going to go no bill.
Okay, let's post a verdict there, Big Ron. It's a no bill, but that's our second split decision. There we go. Jason, do you want to weigh in? You want to weigh in on this one for a couple of minutes, or we have a couple of minutes? Do you want to weigh in on this?
Sure. I don't agree with the excessive force part. You shoot until the threat has stopped, and the threat clearly did not stop. And I think the pause between them. I mean, what else are you supposed to do in that moment as the cop? You're gonna just let him, are you gonna go up and counsel him at that point? I mean, he still has a knife in his hand. He's still a threat, even on his back. And even if he's flopping around in his own blood, he's still a threat. He still has a weapon in his hand. That is still a threat. And you have a victim in that house that was already stabbed. And again, it goes back to the whole priorities of life is the victims, the innocent, the cop, and then the suspect. And the number one thing is cops need to do is take control of that scene, eliminate all threats, and make that scene safe. So I don't agree with the excessive force side to it. I think the cops did a good job.
Maddie, what's your assessment, sir?
I have no bill. Deadly force was utilized. It's not a degree of deadly force. There was only one layer of deadly force, and that's what was utilized until the threat was eliminated.
Right. But as you know, P. Ray, I see your point, but I don't think we can keep at it. Here's the problem. As long as he's moving and as long as he's got a knife in his hand, an officer's going to have to approach him to get him in handcuffs, or he's not restrained. He's not under control, and they've got to get him under control to get medical care to other victims in the house. With that, though, I think that I'm okay with the shots, but I see your point on that. But we got to remember that even a wounded man with a knife can be dangerous.
Okay, he was flopping in his own blood, literally slipping, falling.
He was.
It's that, once you can tell that he's obviously very, very injured. And I just think that it was overkill to shoot him after he slipped and fell in his own blood. He's literally bleeding out.
I have a question. How are they supposed to get by him flopping around if he's still got a knife? I mean, I just don't see it.
P. Ray, is your point that he's so injured that he couldn't present a threat even with a knife in his hand?
Correct.
I don't know about that. The like you can lose 2 pints of blood, right? And that looks like a lot on the floor. And he hadn't lost what looked to be a pint to me.
It's difficult to tell. You can take not a lot of blood and spread it out across the floor, and it'll look like a lot. Sometimes you can have a lot on the floor, and you don't think you've got this. I don't know that you can necessarily go by that. He was absolutely slipping in it. Blood is slippery, so he was absolutely slipping in it. But let's get folks. We have an after party. We kick off on X after this. In fact, it's already running. Our friend and co-host Fidji is running a companion space right now. They're watching and they're doing polls on how they vote on these. We can take these type of subjects in there and discuss them in more detail. But I would like to get to our sixth case. Before we do, though, I mentioned earlier Jason, our expert witness, 30-year police veteran out of Minnesota, just recently retired, matter of fact. He still smells like a cop. But Jason has spent over the last 10 years, in his career, he's been a school resource officer. Over the last 10 plus years, he's developed a system called 3D Response. It's a school safety system. It's a multi-layered school safety system that if some maniac comes into our children's school with 3D Response, their chance at success of killing our treasure diminishes considerably. But Big Ron, let's show this quick video on 3D Response.
see you entering, take a right. You're going to proceed down the long hall, all the way to the end. You're going to go till the end where you're intersect to the classrooms. Keep going, I see you moving forward. Subject is held up in classroom 203.
Law enforcement is on the way. Law enforcement is on the way.
Folks, there's a big push in Minnesota right now to get the SHIELD Act passed. The SHIELD Act essentially applies a safety code to all the schools in the state of Minnesota, where they would have to employ a system like the 3D response. I think it's the smartest thing we can do. We need to quit talking about gun control, quit talking about mental illness and how we are able to predict behavior. We haven't been successful this far, and I don't know of any mental illness any psychiatrist has cured. Maybe somebody could school me on that, but I don't know of any. Sounds like they're good at identifying the problem, but not fixing the problem. But the 3D response system, folks, will protect our children in case some idiot shows up at the school and means them harm. Jason, you want to? I'm real short on time. I give you about 30 seconds if you want to chime in on.
I'll go 10 seconds. It's take a target-rich environment, make it target less as fast as you can, provide the stakeholders, which are the children, the teachers, and the police officers, the tools and resources to stay alive in that minute. Just give the tools to the kids, and that's what we're not doing that, and that needs to change.
Folks, 3dresponse.com. 3dresponse.com. Go there. You can get more information on it. You should spend about 15 minutes there to understand what this system is. He also has letters that you can send out to your local leaders to have this installed in your schools and get your state on board with the SHIELD Act. Big Ron, we're going to get number 6 in. Let's go with it.
Tell me exactly what happened.
I'm actually in here with a 9mm pistol. I'm about to shoot the place up, and I think the cops need to come here right away.
Okay, sir, can I have you exit the building?
No, I'm going to stay in here.
Oh, okay. Is there a reason why you want to do this?
Honestly, I'm waiting for the cops to show up so I can just shoot at them.
Was there anything that led you to this place today? Anything going on?
No, not really. I'm just tired of the cops.
Okay, where's the gun right now?
In my left pocket.
Your left pocket?
Inside my sweatshirt.
Inside your sweatshirt, okay. Thank you. Have you approached anybody in the store at all?
Just asked for the address and a phone. That's about it.
You did? Okay. And I'm sorry, what kind of gun did you have again? Was that a .45 you said?
A 9mm.
9mm, okay. Is the gun loaded?
Yes.
It is, okay. Were any shots fired?
No, not yet.
3 officers arrived at the scene and located the suspect near the gas pumps. Officers announced their presence and ordered the suspect to show his hands. The suspect ignored the officer. One officer discharged his firearm, fatally striking the suspect. Officers performed life-saving actions on the suspect until medical responders arrived at the scene. The suspect was taken to a local hospital where he later died from his injuries. Here's body cam video from the involved officer. Again, this footage may be difficult to watch and may contain strong language.
We're on the northwest corner.
Ready? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, rifle, I'll do commands on you. Yep. No.
Hey, hands!
Go ahead. See your hands. Show us your hands. Now. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
The suspect has since been identified by the Arapahoe County Coroner's Office as a 17-year-old male. He is not being identified because he is a minor.
Folks, that's your last case, and boy, I botched the editing on that one. The audio was off, but you got to hear the 911 call. This is a 17-year-old male at a gas station in Colorado threatening to shoot the place up and engage police officers when they arrive. They arrive on scene. They engage him with commands, verbal commands, and non-lethal. He charges towards the officers, and you see a single officer delivers a fatal shot. Any parts of this we'd like to see again? I'll turn the audio off because that was distracting. My apologies.
I'd like to see about 30 seconds leading up to the shoot, if I could, again.
Sure enough.
Ready? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right. Follow your commands on you. Yep. Go. Hey, hands! Go ahead. Your hands. Show us your hands. Now. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
The suspect has since been identified by the Arapahoe County Coroner's Office as a
Is that good for you? You need to see again.
I'm good.
All right, Big Ron, let's put up a clock.
Wait.
Oh,
Can I see where he's running up? Just that one part where he's running towards the cops.
That help?
Yes, thank you.
All right, Big Ron, let's put this clock up. We're running tight. Let's, I'm going to start with you, range-minded.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate case, but definitely no bill. He was a threat to. I mean, there's people walking right outside the door as the police officers rolled up. It's tough to people choose to go out that way, but no bill.
Boy, seeing a guy like that makes you want to put 3D response in your kid's school. This guy's 17 and lost his mind. James, your opinion, sir?
I got no bill for him this time. It appeared, if I think a reasonable person believes you when you tell them I've got a gun in my pocket, and I'm going to shoot up police when they get here. So, the fact that he might not have drawn on them, he was still running up to them. He had his hands out at least, and appeared to be charging them. So I don't have a bill for him.
P. Ray, what do you think?
I think no bill as well. He told them what he wanted to do. He said that he had a weapon and he was running toward the officers to make good on his word. So, no bill.
Very good. Tim?
No bill. I would have liked to have. I know they're concerned with a threat. I think a heads up to the people walking next to him would have been nice, but that's not a.
You think it'd been nice if they'd walked out there to him?
No. I'm just saying a heads up to the people walking across the parking lot.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Just, hey, get the F down or get out of here or something.
No, I could see that. That should be a priority for officers as well. Andy, what's your opinion on this one?
Yeah, definitely no bill. I mean, you can even tell in the phone call, like the 911 call, where he just basically wanted suicide by cops. I mean, he put everybody in danger. So yeah, definitely no bill.
Okay. With that, I'm not going to go another round. Big Ron, post us up a no bill on that. I think that's not worth a whole lot more discussion, quite frankly. Jason, guys, we have less than 5 minutes, and I want to get one more promo in. But Jason, give us your opinion on this one. What do you think?
I think the jury got it right. They didn't really have a choice. This guy presented himself both in the 911 call and to the officers that he didn't want to live.
He was ready to check out. He called his Uber.
I think it was suicide by cop. Did he have a gun?
Yes, he was armed.
No. Yeah. I agree with the jury. Nice job.
Matty B, what do you think as a Fed?
Yeah, we definitely got no bill.
They should have waited till 6 a.m. and give him 5 minutes to answer the door.
That's it. No bill. And excellent grand jury tonight. Excellent.
You know what? It has been a very good grand jury tonight. I thought I've gone different on these cases than I thought you would. I thought we'd get a little more kickback on some, and those I didn't think we'd get kickback, we actually did. And had some very thoughtful jurors this evening. And I do want to say that, actually, you know what? Big Ron, let's talk about Drax's Pit. This starts. This is every Saturday night. Drax has a space. He's got a live stream on Saturdays, but he also does pub chat. You know, where X marks the spot. Let's run that promo and give him a little bit of credit. You guys should catch his stream tomorrow night.
As liberals go crazy and throw their fits, come on down to Drax's Pit. Yeah, it's Drax's Pit.
Now, Drax's Pit's coming up there, brothers. These guys are getting some views on Friday night. It's a lot of fun, almost like a variety show, political style. P. Ray, there's Kay Daly might be a good person to interview with you. I imagine you could do some publicity running for your office. But actually, I want to end this with giving you, P. Ray, just a few minutes to talk about what can we do. I don't live in the city of Chicago. We know some folks that live in the city of Chicago, but I think they're already drinking your Kool-Aid, so to speak. What can we do if we don't live there to help your push for Congress and help you folks in Illinois start living like free citizens? And I'm going to put this website up, chicagored.org. That you want folks to go?
That's exactly where you have to go to support the organization. Everything we do is independent. We have a lot of courage and bullhorns, and we're able to make it work. Our goal is to raise the patriotic esteem of the people of the city of Chicago. Right now, we have a wonderful military campaign happening on the streets of Chicago to help get the invaders out, and we're very happy for that. But we have to be able to frame it properly. We have to be able to explain it to the people so that they aren't tricked by Democratic propaganda. We are in the middle of the machine, and we're dismantling it very, very quickly. So make sure that you follow me on X, that's Chicago Red P, and then visit us at chicagored.org. From there, you'll see when we actually launch the official congressional website. The goal right now is to get on the ballot. Everybody is really rooting for me to get on the ballot. We're collecting our signatures. Once we make it through that hurdle of hazing here in Illinois, then we'll be able to really rev up the campaign. But thank you guys so much for the support. We're just really fighting hard to hold on to our piece of America. So thank you, thank you, thank you. chicagored.org, P. Ray for Congress.
Absolutely, folks. Reach out. Even though we don't live in Illinois, most of us, there are things you can do to help out, just like the Democrats do. They're not afraid to send money across state lines to get an advantageous candidate elected. And for those of you who haven't followed Chicago Red or P. Ray, this is not new. She's been out there fighting for a minute, and you'll catch her a lot of times on Fox News. Anything to do with Chicago and politics, they're calling Chicago Red to talk about it, which I think that's awesome. But stay connected. She's got a campaign coming up, and we all know, $5 and $10 will help. So we appreciate you spending the evening with us, P. Ray, this evening. In fact, each and every one of you guys, both on the panel for volunteering. It's a time commitment for those of you that don't know. They dedicate a Friday evening to us, and we do appreciate that. For you listeners out there, I always appreciate spending a Friday evening with you. With that, folks, that is going to be the end of our show. Catch us on X. We've got a space going there, and we'll meet you there in about 20 minutes. Everybody that's on the jury, you guys have preferential treatment in the space. You catch a mic. Everybody wants to know what your opinions are, and they like to discuss the deliberations. It's actually quite fun. So everybody get a fresh drink, stretch your legs, and join us there. Thank you.